experienced Kirtan before? Some of you, a couple of you, well, now hopefully everybody, right? So, mantras are something that carry conscious sounds, right? The materialistic sounds, the honking of horns, papers rustling, sounds that are known to perhaps stress us out. I don't think anybody falls asleep to the honking of horns at night. Well, I guess when I go to India, I fall asleep to the honking of trains, like non-stop. We live next to a train station. It's like throughout the night. I swear they get louder in the night. But mantra meditation is conscious sound. It's sound that is past just material sounds that we're used to. And that's why it has this ability to really connect with us without much explanation. I think many people who practice mantra meditation, who practice Kirtan, tend to realize that there is some connection with mantras that is sometimes difficult to explain. But as I was talking with many of you, I learned that you came across Kirtan perhaps in some of the oddest places, but it stuck with you. And that's why perhaps you're here today. Some of you found it on Meetup, some of you found it on Eventbrite, some of you just walked in. But Kirtan has this tendency to call those around it to experience this type of sound. So that being said, today we are celebrating, or rather on Thursday we were celebrating the Festival of Lights, also known as Diwali, but here we are today on Saturday. And I was born in America, my parents are from India, but I find it really interesting to learn about some of these festivals. I know I am not the most well understood in some of these things, and it's really interesting to hear about how it connects to bhakti yoga, right? Bhakti yoga is not just something that we go into a yoga studio and practice, but it's so rich in culture, and it's so deep. Everything from Ayurveda to Hatha yoga, to Yin yoga, to Ashtanga yoga, right? So many forms of living have come from this practice of Bhakti yoga. And Bhakti yoga also consists of many of these stories and festivals that have deep meaning to them, with deep significance, with life lessons that we can take away and apply to our everyday lives to lead more meaningful and intentional lives. So that being said, I'll stop rambling and I'll hand it over to Satiksha to share a little bit about this festival and what it really means.
Hello everyone. So I'm Satiksha, and this is my wonderful husband Arjun, and we are so grateful to be here at Mantra House. Thank you so much, Ayan, and his dear family. It's always delightful to see them every single time when we meet. And it's my first time here at Mantra House. I don't know how many of you are here for the first time. So we are celebrating Festival of Lights here, right? And as I am saying, that the Bhakti Yoga carries a very rich and deep meaning to each and every festival that is rooted in, timeless tradition. And Festival of Lights, which is Diwali, is also the same. And those who come from the Indian background might already know the significance of it. But however, this is, about, Ram, who is worshipped in the land of India, and he was on exile for 14 years from his kingdom, and he comes back on the dark night of, Amavasya, which is, I think, the first, what do you call it? Dark fortnight. Yeah. So, when he comes, the entire city is dark. The city is Ayodhya, and all the citizens of his country, they, light up lamps on the way, so that, the entire place is just filled with so much joy and it's like a festival to welcome him back into their place and then again keep him on the throne as their king and worship him with so much love. So likewise, we also can not just light the lamp externally, but bring in so much light within our own hearts, which is filled with darkness, illusion, ignorance, and so much suffering. Right? Yeah, actually today's festival, why do we have to talk about suffering? But inherently, if we have to talk about love, we have to talk about suffering. There is no other way that we can separate these two. Because unless and until we know that we are suffering, we will not allow us to experience love, the true and deep meaning of love. So, the thing is that we see in this world there is so much suffering. We see in terms of environment, climate change, people are fighting for it, and then another side of the world where people are fighting over power. There's elections coming up, and and then there's another part of this world where people are suffering to even have a meal a day. Children are dying because of hunger, poverty, right? We can skip a meal, say, oh, I skipped a meal today because I had an assignment, or I skipped a meal because I was in a meeting. That's fine. But still there are children who, have to starve, not just out of their own choice, but because of circumstances. So there is so much suffering going on in this world, right? Each one of us are suffering in our own ways. We sort of know this, but if you see, we don't really acknowledge it, right? I was once in a place called Kashmir, it's in India, and I was about 18 years old, and there I noticed something really wonderful. So this place is just a conflict area, like two countries are fighting, India and Pakistan, and this is a buffer state, and there's so much suffering that goes on in this place. Many people die every single day. That's like the news that you hear. Oh, your brother died today, and then it's so common there, and you constantly hear people cry. You see so many graveyards. Children are fighting on, all over these graveyards. So it's a place where there's a lot of suffering. But the one striking thing that I noticed in that place is that despite so much suffering, each and every person I met there didn't show their anger, frustration, or distress and anguish, upon some other person whom they were interacting with. So say you are in a city and then two cars cross by on the signal and then one passes over the other or something happens. The person pulls down the window and they start cursing, right? That's very frequent. But here I was seeing two buses were about to collide and then they just like, okay, whatever, and then they pass by. I was amazed and I was wondering why is this happening, and I saw this occurring very often there, that even though there could be a lot of things going on, people were not showing their anger onto others. I noticed that it's because each and every person in that place knows that, okay, the other person is suffering because of this war, and I know that he lost his son or daughter, or he lost his father or mother, he lost his sister or brother, or he lost some relative. And I also did, and the other person also acknowledges. So this way they understand, okay, there is so much more than just our frivolous fight. They were experiencing something very profound, and I was thinking, there's so many things going on around, but still they were able to experience love. They were able to express that. That's because they were able to acknowledge that, oh, you're suffering, I'm also suffering. And I don't want to put more into your cup. I want to show love. And this stuck with me till now. I think it's been about 8 years. It has left a deep impression in my heart. And you all, I don't know how many of you have heard about Bhagavad Gita. Have you guys heard about it? It's one of the most sold books in the world. I heard from someone that Bible is the first, on the top. It's the most sold book in the world. And the next one is, any guesses? You know it. Harry Potter? I don't know, it's some about 800 million copies. I'm not sure how many. But Bhagavad Gita is one of the most sold books. I don't know where it comes in the list. But there, Krishna says that I sit within your heart and I dispel the darkness by giving you a higher truth, a higher knowledge. That knowledge lights up your heart and then dispels the darkness. That's what he says. So this inherently means that our hearts, just like these lamps, can be lit up with a knowledge that's higher and beyond time. And what is this knowledge exactly that Krishna is talking about? What is he referring to? We read so many books. We attend, universities. We go to school. We go for work. We hear a lot of things. We watch news. Still, the knowledge that Krishna is talking about is the spiritual truth, which is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means love, and Yoga means connection. Connecting with others through love is what Krishna is talking about. And they say, it's not a bad day when, the weather is bad. Seattle people, you all might know. But it is a bad day when you're not able to get together with the people whom you're grateful for and discuss something that you're really grateful for. And they mentioned, there's a clause to it, that the true thing that you're supposed to be grateful for is the spiritual truth that's provided to you. And so the spiritual truth is that the Bhakti Yoga, the love that we experience through God's grace is permanent. And the rest of the other experiences of this world, whether it's through our senses, our mind, our body, all these things are very temporary. We see that, it's said that, I don't know if I can share the story, but how will I go with it? So there is a king called Rantidev. So he was fasting for his kingdom. See, we usually see that the people who are in power these days, I don't know how many days they fast so that they can alleviate the sufferings of others. I know many people fast because of them. But here's the king Rantidev, it's a true story, that he was fasting and he was praying to the Lord to, for the mercy that he can serve others in some way and alleviate their sufferings. So he was fasting for 48 days along with his family in a small place. And then he became very weak, he was about to die. And right when someone came with a huge plate full of all the, delicacies and everything, just on the day when you're not having a first meal, the lunch seems so exciting, right? You're ready to devour. Let's say we skip the lunch and the dinner is exciting. And here is Rantidev, he has a huge plate full of all these, Indian food items which are really delicious and even exciting to look at. So then somebody knocks at the door and this priest comes in and he's like, do you have something? Can you give me something? So Rantidev is used to giving charity. And then he's like, yeah, sure. And then he gives some of this food. And he sends off the priest after paying his obeisances. And then comes another person, and this person is impoverished. And this person also asks, now Rantidev is really starving. He didn't take a sip of water in these 48 days. And he's about to break his fast. If he's not going to break this fast, he might die. And still, he gives some of the food to this other person who came at his door. And there came another person, with a dog, and then he gave away that, rest of the food, and he had, I think, a cup of water. He was thinking, okay, I don't have food, at least I can break my fast with water. this can keep me alive. This person came, probably he didn't even say thank you, or he was not expressing any gratitude. Rantide gave him that glass of water. And this person went by, and now Rantide has nothing. And still he prays to the Lord, he prays to, God, and he says, God, I don't want any perfection of this world. I don't want any material achievements, enjoyment of this world. And I don't want to achieve liberation either through yoga, through anything. But all I want is to know that you have taken away the hunger, the thirst, and illusion that I have for this world. And that's all I pray for. And thank you so much for making me an instrument of service unto all these people who knocked at my door. And I sincerely pray that I am able to serve each and every one in my kingdom in some way. So we see that so many of us suffer, but we never express our love unto others, right? And let's say this is something that we really seek within our hearts. We enter a classroom and then everything is perfect. There's a huge display and there's a notebook, there's a wonderful professor probably ready to give us all the knowledge that we want to, gain in this university or where we work. Everything is perfect, right? The place where we work, we get amazing food, we get time to do our own things, and then we get good salary, of course. Still, every single time we go inside a room, what we seek is that, will I not make one friend? Will somebody not just turn around and look at me and just, share a smile or speak something to me, right? How many times have we sat in a class or at work thinking that, oh, this person was so rude to me? That's all goes in your mind. There could be everything that's perfect around. Yet, one situation where you experience some sort of a minute inconvenience sticks in your mind, right? So, this shows that inherently we are seeking love. And this love can be experienced only when we know the true knowledge that Krishna is talking about in Bhagavad Gita, which is, about knowing the spirit soul. So, we were a small child, right? We were inside a mother's womb, and then slowly we developed. We came out, and then now we have a huge body. We were so small, we all have pictures. And then we see that, oh, my body is changing. I was so small, now I have a huge body, right? And then suddenly I'm thinking, oh, this body is probably temporary. And how I want, I can change my body these days, right? I go to a surgeon and I can make it different however I want. And then say even something so insignificant like a name, that say my name is Subiksha, tomorrow I go to some place and I can change my name, or somebody can call me something else, so that's changing. And then the mind is like a monkey, it keeps changing, right? So all these changes are happening in terms of body, mind, say externally, the environment, yet we say that this is my hand, my leg, my head, my hair, my eyes, but who is this mind? Who am I? I'm probably not this body. I'm saying this is my body, So who am I? I'm not the mind either. The mind is flickering, the mind is temporary. I'm saying my mind is not good today. My mind is sort of freaky. And my mind is calm at times. Yet, the mind is not who we are. The true identity that Krishna is talking about is that we are spirit souls. That we are eternal, spiritual beings who come from the same source, and we all share the same, quality of loving one another. If we take this out, say the bodily conception, the conception of the mind, then all the problems of this world that we are experiencing, say all the isms, be it racism, be it feminism, be it, what the pride, queer community is fighting for these days. All these things just dissolve after some point because all these are on body level. If we experience love through one another's spiritual essence, then we can naturally find the commonality between all of us and we can experience love. And this is the true knowledge that we want to learn about today on this day of Festival of Lights. I would want to stop here and open it for questions if there is any, and then we proceed to the Kirtan.
Something this reminds me of, in Bhakti there's a concept, or there's a saying, live like a lotus. And in Sanskrit, lotus is called Padmaja, and Padmaja means one that grows out of muddy water. And it compares that we are almost all like lotuses growing in this world. And what are the qualities of a lotus? It's hydrophobic, right? It grows in muddy water, but it does not absorb the muddy water. It does not become muddy with the water. It's so beautiful, but it grows in such an environment which is so starkly different from what a lotus actually is. So in Bhakti tradition, what it says is that we are all lotuses, and there is a way to live in this world, be in this world without becoming of it. And that is really what Subiksha was summarizing and talking about so nicely, of how there is an essence, a spiritual being within all of us that makes it so much easier to connect as soon as you put aside a lot of these other name tags you've been given throughout our lives. So Kirtan is one of those ways that we're able to nourish our lotus-like qualities, that we're able to really connect and maybe build our ability to be, to repel the muddy water, hydrophobic, as they call it.
Any questions? Any thoughts, reflections that we all want to share? Somebody is still deep into meditation.
We all wait for the first person to put their hand up.
Yeah.
And then we follow.
That's okay. So, you're going to
Follow?
chant? Yeah. So, Hare means the embodiment of love, and Krishna is all attractive personality. And the word Rama means all reservoir of all pleasure. And Rama also has one more meaning, Anatarakshaka, which means he whom we can take shelter of, and he who gives shelter even to those who don't have refuge. So let's take shelter of this mantra meditation and chant along with energy.
Hare in Bhakti tradition, we put our arms in the air. And we live in a society where we sit like this. I know I'm a victim of it, so let's open up. Put our arms in the air, wave them around, and sing this beautiful mantra.
Better than that, standing up, dancing, and then putting your hand up. You want to try that? Stand up and dance, and then put your hand up. Let's do it. go. 3, 2, 1. Hare Krishna, Hare Can we do it? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare it's free cardio. No need to go to gym and it's completely free. You shed a few pounds only to regain them with food. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, quickly before we conclude, we'll ask everybody to grab a pillow and sit back down. We'll conclude with a special calming mantra. Yes, grab a sip of water if you would like. We have cups and water in the back. And a request I have is, some of you painted these clay diyas. If you could grab that, we're going to do something special with them. And if we did not paint one, we should have plenty of extras. If not, someone's more than welcome to take mine. Less than stellar painted one.
Okay, you all can lift your lamp. I'm going to give you one lamp which you can lift. Okay, back to all.
Traditionally in Diwali, in the Festival of Lights, we use actual
That is a switch.
candles.
I keep track of those candles that are from our family, but that's fine. Oh no, it's ours. I paid for that.
Yeah, and you can turn on the light. Then
Oh no, that's
there's a
hers.
switch.
I think that's hers too.
There's a switch behind it. You can turn it on.
Yeah, I got it. He's on it. Okay.
Yeah, if you all can turn it on.
Okay, so traditionally in the Festival of Lights in Diwali, we actually light them with real candles. They're known as oil lamps or tea lamps, but we're trying to stay in the venue as long as possible without making them upset. So this was the next best alternative. So hopefully everybody has one to hold. So in this next mantra, we're just going to conclude with a nice prayerful mood. We're going to be praying that we can find the inner happiness within us, that we may light our true identity, our true purpose, also known as karma in Sanskrit, which some of you may have heard about. So the way we do that in Bhakti culture, in Bhakti tradition, is we take the lamp and we just offer it in small circles such that we may be able to connect with the love in the room, the energy in the room, the consciousness in the room. And therefore, my request is we do so in a prayerful mood, and the prayer may be anything you want, but hopefully somewhere along the lines of, please help me find happiness that is not always tinged with selfish. Yes, all of that. Right? We tend to live in this world where happiness and all these other negative energies tend to go with it. So we want to find happiness today that is not coupled with any negative energies. So with that, we'll do a short, quick, last prayerful mantra, and then we'll go to the best part. So the last one that we have up on the screen is again pretty simple, less word in it, just like the first one that we did. So this goes something on the lines of, we have a call and response, Radhe Radhe, Govinda, Radhe. Radhe Radhe, Govinda, Govinda, Radhe. So, 2 times Radhe, 2 times Govinda, and then 1 time Radhe at the end. We chant, we will sing this for a couple of minutes, and then we will go to our most important, delicious program of the evening. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe. Everyone. Radhe
time. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda
Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in today's Kirtan. Quickly, before we break for food, just a couple of announcements. I wanted to share that Mantra House, outside of just the weekly programs in Open Flight Studio, we also have programs online throughout the week, whether it's meditation, yoga, or other wisdom from other bhakti yogi practitioners, as we like to call them. We have events throughout the week. Something that I suggest you check out, which is one of my favorites, and I'm obviously biased, but we have a program called Wisdom Wednesdays. We get everybody from monks to entrepreneurs, people from all walks of life who are practicing bhakti, come share their experiences of how bhakti can be made practical. We live in this world of tons and tons of theoretical knowledge, but how do we actually apply it? The next thing is we have some upcoming events and programs at Mantra House. We have on November 9th, we have another Kirtan Soulfest here at Open Flight. After that, we have a series called Bhakti Talks that's really focused on the wisdom sharing component of Bhakti. So that will be on Friday, November 13th. But do keep in mind that that will be at the DT Studio over in Wallingford. November 9th event is probably the last one here in Open Flight for the year, just because of how the schedule is working out to be. So we will be in the DT, but if you do drive, they have tons and tons of free parking, so hopefully that works out. And then finally, on October 23rd, we have a Thanksgiving edition of Kirtan Soulfest. We're going to have tons and tons of yummy food. So even if you don't want to come for the meditation, which I hope you do, I hope you join us for the amazing food. And in Bhakti Yoga, just like I said, it's all encompassing. So one way we like to practice self-care, yoga, and happiness is by feasting consciously and enjoying. So with that being said, we do have food in the back. But before we break, I do want to thank everybody who made this program possible. We have Kama for the drums and the danga. We have Claudia playing the ensemble, also known as Kirtals. And finally, a big thank you to Arjun and Sudiksha for leading today's meditation. I don't want to forget the many other volunteers who helped make this program possible, from carrying everything up the stairs to check-in. Many people are needed to make it happen, so thank you everybody. Okay, yes, so absolutely. I'll just end with one last thought. Sorry, I love to talk, clearly. But I have this thing on my wristband, and I think it really relates to today's event. And it says, where am I investing my attention right now? And I think that's a nice meditation. That's a nice question to be asking yourself throughout the week, maybe until next time we meet. And if not throughout the week, maybe throughout your life. Where am I investing my attention? What sounds am I hearing? What is my consciousness like? And how is it being affected by where I'm putting my attention? Where attention goes, energy flows. Thank you, everybody. And if you'd like to stay connected, please do scan the QR code. It takes you to our WhatsApp community. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.